Hi everybody.
Hi.
Jason and Aimee here, Spiritual Fluffers. We've been gone for a couple of years, but we're back. Hope everybody has been surviving the last few years. Ours has definitely been a roller coaster. Mine personally has been a doozy. I'm sure we'll get into that throughout the course of these upcoming videos. We just wanted to sort of reintroduce ourselves and get back on the scene with you guys and talk a little bit about where the planet has been for the past couple of years and where we're headed.
Fun and excitement. Journey.
So many of you may be experiencing what is being referred to as the shift.
Yes.
We all like to say shift happens. And so planet Earth is currently in the process of ascending.
Yes.
Is the right way to put it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Again, it may look a little scary, but for the most part, it's just growing pains are not always as fun as you want them to be.
Yeah. So what does it mean that the planet is ascending? What does that mean?
I mean, I think personally, I think it's the macro is a reflection of the micro, and I think we're experiencing a global ego death, and you're seeing it also occur on individuals. Sometimes this might be a value to you as the viewer, because a lot of people might be acting a little crazy, but they're not really crazy. They're just experiencing ego death, where they thought what was important and they valued in their life is they found out wasn't important and wasn't very valuable. But while you're doing that, your brain goes through a little glitch program into an outside viewer. It looks scary, it looks crazy, it looks, well, now we use the term fascinating.
Fascinating, not crazy. But it can appear as if structures that have held societies together for millennia.
Or the illusion that they
exactly.
held them together. 'Cause
yes.
the individuals are always the most important part of the equation.
Yep.
But if you spend trillions of dollars pretending like these things are actually important, people start to believe they actually are important, and none of them actually are.
Right. And so what it looks like is that it's looking a lot like chaos. It's looking like things are unraveling, structures are unraveling, people are, societal issues, racism, classism, all of these issues that we face are just boiling almost.
Yeah.
You're hearing about it every day. I know Jason and I, one of our earlier videos was about the anger porn that is the news. So do yourself a favor and try and take a break, and if not, cut out completely the anger porn, which is the news.
And go talk to real people.
Yes.
Just go and talk to real people, and you're like, wait, this doesn't match up with the reality that they're projecting towards me.
And go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, back to the macro is a reflection of the micro. I mean, basically, it's going to throw a tantrum just like our ego does when we try to say, oh, no, I'm going to try to do something that makes me happy. Your ego will throw a tantrum on an individual level. The macro's just doing that, and it has as much real power as your ego does, which is probably 1 to 3% of your capacity is your ego.
Exactly.
It's that tantruming child that's like, you have to do exactly what I want. I've got to control. I need to control. I need to control. And then once you just vibrate out of it and say, I don't really need you to control me. I don't really need to be controlled, and I don't need to control anyone else.
I always like to say the ego, and we'll link one of our former ego videos in the description below, so you can go back and check that out. But the ego for me is, I like the fact that it keeps me from walking out in front of a truck in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I go to the dentist every year. That's the purpose of the ego,
well,
right?
It's supposed to be this actually symbiotic relationship. Unfortunately, what happens is we go through bad childhood programming, and it becomes almost this monster. Basically what happens is we give our imagination to our ego between the ages of 6 and 11, and then it just uses it to control us, uses us to think we're small and weak, and that we've got to stay in this myopic view of ourselves and the world around us, which is a form of insanity, because your brain has infinite capacity. You can literally be Britney Spears persona one day, and then be you one day, and then be someone else, and be this.
There's infinite potential with the creativity of the brain, but the ego wants to keep you safe.
Yeah.
And so what at the macro level Jason's talking about with the global ascension process that we're going through, these systems or structures that have been in place, have appeared to be in place for the past millennia, seemingly are falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's creating sort of fear and anxiety across the whole system.
Yeah.
But the point of all of this is that none of it was ever real.
No. And
it was all an illusion.
Well, and that's part of the ego death on an individual level is like, you're like, oh my God, I'm losing everything, I might as well just commit suicide. And you're like, and then you as an outside viewer watching someone go through an ego death, it's
painful.
It's sad to watch because you're like, oh my God, like they're not going to lose anything, but they're yet want to almost commit suicide for losing a really bad job,
possibly a really bad relationship,
and making a huge deal about it. And you're just like, oh my God, you'll be so much better off.
You're going to be so much happier on the other side of this. But I've been through it
during the process.
Where I had an identity, one professional identity before you and I started working together, and when that identity went away, it was, my ego was kicking and screaming because it was like, who are you if you're not that professional identity? You're nobody.
And it goes back to the basics of how do we validate love, or how do we deny ourselves unconditional love? Like, we create this construct that gives us validation, and it's not even real validation. It's just this hamster wheel that we create. Be like, oh my God, I got validation. Now I gotta go back.
Need more validation.
Run faster. This is the only thing I know how to do. Or you could just get off the hamster wheel.
You could just get off, which is exactly what's happening. So if you are feeling a bit crazy in all of this, or if you're feeling anxious or afraid because you're hearing rumors of the monetary system collapsing or the educational system this or that and the other, as Jason said a moment ago, stop.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. First of all, none of us breathe appropriately.
We'll
do an episode on that later.
Yes.
But take a deep breath and go outside for a walk.
Yes.
Or, I don't know, sit and read a book that you might want to read.
Well, and again, going back to the individual versus big, whenever you're trying to change, your ego will distract you with squirrel stuff. Squirrel,
yes,
squirrel.
Yes.
And that's kind of what's going on with, if you turn on the news, like, it's just all
lots of squirrels.
A lot of squirrels. And if you want to look at them,
that's okay.
If you want to play that game, it's totally fine to play that game. It's just, we think there's actually more fun games to play. You can stop playing Miss Pac-Man for the 20 millionth time and try a different game.
Exactly. And so one of the pieces that we're hoping in our upcoming videos, now that we're back, is we're really trying to encourage everybody to seek happiness.
Become an active participant in your own happiness and then seek it.
Yep, exactly.
So many human beings don't actually know what happiness is, looks for them, and that's okay. Like, that's actually perfectly acceptable. And what a fun adventure to go on.
To find it, right?
Yeah,
to determine what happiness is for you.
Yeah. It's not my happiness. It's not. Unfortunately, for probably 3,000 years, we dictated happiness by what society told us what happiness was.
Exactly.
And now it's probably is going to go away. Sorry for people who really, really want to keep that self-torture routine.
Exactly. And calling it happiness.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
I'm happy. I'm
so happy.
I got another gold star.
I've got 2 houses and 5 cars and a boat.
And I'm
so happy.
I swear.
What you find in all of this, though, too, is that it's the simplest things. So when we talk about happiness, so often, like you just said, the construct of happiness has been presented as something outside.
Yeah.
Like, if I get a boat, if I get that car, if I get this, then I'm going to be so happy.
For retirement, and you're like,
there you go, retirement. You live your whole life to retire so that you can then enjoy your life.
Exactly.
Like, if that isn't a social programming, I don't even know how. It's hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, it's a form of insanity. Like, I can't be happy if I play the I'll be happy when game, I'll never be happy because my brain will always construct another dune or another
hurdle.
Road, hurdle just to actually validate my own existence, because the brain is a CPU, and it's like, oh, you like these hurdles. Let's create
more of them.
Yeah. So just again, if you can, just take one deep breath and then just ignore that stuff and go, what makes me happy?
Exactly. Literally, what does that even look like for me?
Yeah.
And understanding that happiness is a state of being It's not an external construct, and
it can't ever be.
It can't ever be.
Like there is no major philosophy besides maybe hedonism and Satanism that actually thinks external. You can become happy through externalities.
Right.
And neither one are probably really great. I don't see anyone that's super, super happy in either one of them.
Yeah.
So I probably don't want to follow either one of those. Not because like if they were happy, okay, maybe I'll try it.
But
none of them seem that happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going that route.
So, in terms of ego death, what's going on with us on this, and then with the planet. So, I think the main takeaway for me in this is it's okay to let that go.
Yeah.
It's okay to let your old personality go. Joe Dispenza's got a great book called Breaking the Habit of Being You.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's amazing. If you please look it up. It's wonderful. Because from 0 to 7 years old, we are programmed as young children. As Jason just said a moment ago, our brains are CPUs. They're central processing units, just like a computer. And as with a computer, you're not going to get anything out of a computer that hasn't been programmed into it.
Well, a lot of our sessions is we create, with the programming, we create these open loop systems, and a lot of the clients that we work with were like, well, with your open loop system, if you became president of the United States, would you still not be happy? And almost every one of them says, yeah, I still want to be happy.
Exactly.
Because it's an open loop system that can never be satisfied. So what you really have to do is say, okay, what validates me, what makes me feel happy as I'm going towards unconditional love.
Exactly.
Let that be the compass in the dark, because we're all born blind in an insane asylum called planet Earth and society, and we really thought we were super smart, but it's all just a bunch of insane people trying to not help you but affirm their own misguided beliefs in themselves and the world.
Yes. And so understanding that while you may feel crazy and the world may look crazy, what's really happening is actually a journey towards your most authentic self.
Take a step back, breathe, and just go, oh my gosh.
What's real to me?
Yeah.
What's real to me? And most of us, it's our loved ones, our friends, our family.
Yeah.
That's what's real.
I found people, like, especially right after the one thing happened 2 years ago that we must not talk about, Voldemort. Like they found out that they really love to plant and grow things, like just sticking their hands in
the dirt. Yes.
There's just so many of those stories that I hear about, and it's like, well, okay, well, if you haven't found it yet, just try it.
Just keep looking.
And if you don't like it and it doesn't resonate with you,
do something else.
Oh darn! I lost a week.
You know what I mean?
I lost an hour.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're infinite creator beings, and so you have this potential that is vast. There's infinite potential in every now moment, and so, like you said, try something.
Yeah.
Try anything that you resonate to.
And guess what?
Play the piano, or sing a song, or paint a painting.
And enjoy it. Like, and again, I hate to use the term failure, but failure is fun. Like, okay, I tried this, it didn't work. Oh well. Oh well. Oh darn, I lost nothing. Like,
exactly.
Oh darn, I went on that date. I lost 1 hour of my life. Oh my gosh, this is not horrible. None of this is actually a huge deal. It is the ego screaming at you saying, don't try something different. And no, embrace the different, embrace the weird, embrace the fun.
Yes. What is it used to say? Let your freak flag fly. Anything else on ego death and
we're good.
Global transitions?
It's a fun journey. It's a journey, not a destination. It's just fun, and just go on it and try.
I think that's the main piece too. Is just try and have fun any chance you can.
Yeah. And it's not your parents. It's not your parents' journey. It's not society's journey. It's not Jason and Amy's journey. It is your journey, and it is a beautiful journey.
Yes.
Once you start going on it, it gets a little scary, but then it gets a little weird, and then it gets a little fun, and then it gets a little fun weird. And it's just, it really is just
And then
fun.
it actually gets really fun.
Yeah.
once you understand that you truly are a co-creator of your own reality,
Yeah.
and you really understand the manifestation process,
Yeah.
it starts to get really fun.
I think so. I mean, again, like you vibrate out of this I'm a victim role into this is all very fascinating, interesting.
Yeah.
You stop using terms like lazy and you start using terms like unmotivated. And how do I get motivated?
Great.
Or that person's crazy. Okay, what makes them tick? Obviously, there's some beautiful thing that made them that the way they were. Versus, they're a bad person and I don't like them.
Yeah.
And it just starts to get super fun. Behind every person is this beautiful story. Behind every journey is this beautiful learning lesson, and it's just awesome.
So thanks for watching us today. As I said, we're back and we're going to be doing a whole series of videos again, just like we did a couple of years ago. So we'll be putting one out each week over the next few weeks. Feel free to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Go back and see some of our old videos that we had from a couple of years ago. Still very relevant to everything that we're going through.
Yeah.
And hit the subscribe button, like I said, hit the like button, and share with any of your friends and family that might be interested in this.
Or if there's subjects that you want us to cover,
yeah, put it in the comments.
Yes.
Throw it in the comments what you might like us to talk about, because we're happy to talk about issues that are of interest to you. And if you want to find us to work with us more, go to spiritualfluffers.love or yoursoulspurpose.org.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.